We were all here yesterday when Alan Savage was here laying out what was going to be happening, and then later on last night we got some good news about the club. Is that good news for you?
I think it's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, I spoke to Alan briefly this morning, and I think it's great news for the club. That it looks like they've done deals to keep the club going and keep it in administration, which is a massive thing for the football club, obviously for the community and for the staff at the football club, because obviously that's been hanging over them for quite a bit of time now. So no, it's wonderful news.
You said you had a word with Alan. Can you tell us anything that he was saying to you? Did he give you reassurances, or what was he saying?
I've just seen that the club they've done a good deal last night, and the club's going to continue. They're going to keep it in administration. That was already very brief, but he's done a lot since he's come in, hasn't he? He's put a lot of money into the club, and he's looked like he's stabilised it. So fantastic! Well done to Alan.
Back to the football. You've added a young defender from County, Connell Ewan. Will he be the last one coming in this week? What's he going to bring?
Good defender, young. He's 19. Another young player, but he's got great potential. He was at Elgin and did very well there last season. So yeah, he was local, within the budget, but very positive because he's in the local area, and nobody like him. I think he got the young player of the year at Elgin last year, so yeah, we've got big hopes for him, and he'll go right into the squad.
You've spoken about restrictions, financially. Who knows what the future will hold? Now there's going to be a bit of stability, but at this moment in time, while the window is open, have you got any intentions of bringing anybody else in?
Yeah, we've got intentions. Yeah, we're trying our best, obviously, to bring another player in if we can, to strengthen the squad, strengthen the front line. It's not easy, but we're trying our very best.
Tough game potentially coming up with Queen's visiting. Will it be nice to be back on the grass though?
It will be. I mean, the pitch, I know going on about it, but the pitch last week was shocking it was, but we dealt with it, and it's nice to be back home. We've obviously done a wee bit of work on the pitch over the summer, and so it's in good shape. So no excuses. We're going to put in a big performance in front of our home fans. As you say, it's going to be a very tough game for us, and we need to try and win a game, don't we, to push us up that league.
The fans have been coming back. Obviously there was a bit of a turbulent time there, but they have been coming back and been showing up. Are you hopeful for an even bigger turnout now? We've had even more good news for the club.
Yeah, I'm always hopeful that the fans come through and support their team. That's the main thing, isn't it? And obviously that stability with Alan coming in, hopefully they'll come through the turnstiles and most importantly to support their team positively. It's going to be a really tough game at the weekend, and we're going to need them right to the 90th minute, not just the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We need them on board, and hopefully we can get the 3 points for them.
What's your team news for this game?
Keith Bray will be out for about 2 or 3 weeks, I think, at the moment. He's not trained this week, so he's got a bit of a hip flexor problem. Louis Longstaff has went for a scanty day to Edinburgh to find out the extent of his thigh injury is. And obviously we've got Jack out as well. He'll be out for 4 or 5 weeks. So the injuries are starting to mount up, as they do in football. But there's 2 starters there, 3 starters that are not in the team just now.
Okay.
If I could just clarify something, Duncan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was led to believe that there were something like 3 signings made on the say-so of Kevin McQuana, who had made money available. If that's the case, has there been any difficulty hanging on to these guys or getting these signings sorted?
3 signings from...
Well, on the strength that Ketan McQuana had said, yeah, okay, the money's there, go and do it.
Yeah, when under the previous regime, there was a budget there that I gave them the list of, I think, 5 players that they had on a list, and that was okayed by the CEO, and I went ahead with that, which I think one of them was Wallace, one of them was Duffy, one was the goalie, left back, one was the goalkeeper really. So under the previous CEO, I got the go ahead to sign 2 or 3 players, which I did.
So it seemed to have managed to absorb that financial red herring, even although it was done maybe not on a very secure basis, still managed to absorb that.
Well, I'm sure at their time they thought it was a secure basis. And obviously I got to go ahead for the CEO. The Wallace was local. We knew the player. I don't think it was a big expense to the club, but it was an expense. And of course, we got the goalkeeper in as well. We needed a goalkeeper. So I worked under the previous regime and I got the list in. And so we brought in 2 or 3 players, didn't we? Under the previous CEO and the owner, who we thought was the owner.
Again, to return to football, and to what I believe you referred to as a granny's carpet last Saturday. You will.
I'm not trying. I don't want to slaughter everybody's granny's carpet, by the way.
Aye. But you will be glad to get to rather nice looking grass out there in the front.
I know. I mean, look, I make a big thing out, don't I? Because I'm just not used to these pitches up here. To be honest, I think I'm just not used to it. I thought the pitch on Saturday was shocking. Okay, that's what I think. And you're right, we're on the grass. Our pitch is in good condition. The groundsman has worked tirelessly over the summer to get it right. It's fantastic. That doesn't mean we're going to win the game, but it means that we can play football on the right surface.
Queen of the South realistically do seem to have made a reasonable start to the season.
Yeah, well, they're third in the league, aren't they? And they've lost 1 game last week to Montrose. Couple of wins, a draw, so it's going to be a tough game for us. We're a big, strong team, and we're going to have to be our best to beat them. But
your players presumably can go out now knowing that their jobs are a good deal more secure than they were 24 hours ago.
Yeah, well, I think obviously football players have got contracts, haven't they? So I think that's got to be honoured. I think obviously the staff in the building, for instance, will be much more happier this weekend than they were last weekend or the weekend before, because these are the people that the administration have really hurt. But the players obviously are aware of certain things that happen off the pitch, and it looks like it's stabilising now, which can only be a good thing, can't it?
That's great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Duncan, Jake Davidson in the past couple of weeks has come into kind of midfield role, which we haven't seen much of him. How do you feel he's done there?
I think he's done well enough, isn't he? Yeah. He's a utility player, Jake. We've played him on the defensive line, on the attacking line, and in the midfield line. So yeah, he gets on with Jake. Good player, one of the senior players at 22, 23, I think. So he's versatile, which is definitely helping him.
Just in terms of transfers, can you say anything more about Alfie Babbage? Is that close at all, or?
I don't know how close it is. Obviously, we're looking to strengthen the attacking line.
Yeah,
it's not easy to do, and obviously on the budget that we've got as well. But the club are trying their very best to secure an attacker for me.
Ewan Connell that's arrived gives you that another defensive option as well, and it's that kind of cover that you need just if injuries do bite back there.
Well, we've already got 3 or 4 at the moment. When injuries do happen. And I know you've heard me before, we're such a young team. This is another young player, I think he's 19, the lad, but he's a good player, he's well rated, so he'll come in for the weekend, and it's just another bit of cover, or he can force his way into the team. So, and as you said, you always get injuries, and that's just it's another player for us. He's in the local area, and we think he'll be a good addition to the squad.
Can I just ask about Ethan Cairns, Duncan? Is he?
He's back on the grass. As I said, he had a little bit of a health problem. He's back on the grass, warming up, jogging, and non-contact stuff, passing, possession type of thing. Really is a floater, and to be fair, I think he's months away, maybe a month away, or 4, 5, 6 weeks away from actually being back in and around about the squad.
Final bit of team news. Just Martin McKinnon, the goalkeeper, is he with you again for another week, or?
Do you know what? I don't know. I just don't know where that is and how long we can keep on doing emergency loans for.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on that. I think there has been talk about downstairs and how we can get a goalkeeper in. I'm not sure if we can get him back in. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I'd have to ask the goalkeeping coach how he's dealing with it.
Just to check, obviously, Duncan, on an issue that was going into the summer, just about, was discussed on the Wine and Shuffle podcast as well, that you went into the summer having to take a kind of pay cut as well, in the back of the relegation. Can you clarify that? Was that something?
Well, I didn't have to do anything. and it was nothing to do with relegation.
No.
But I have took a big pay cutting up to about 40% I've took. So, but I've only did that in the last couple of days to help the club, and more importantly to help the staff in the club. Staff in the club. So yeah, I have took a big reduction on my wage to try and help the club out.
And that further underlines as if it needed your commitment to the club and the cause.
Well, I'll always be here to help the staff at the club, always, and I'll always try to help the club, 100%, absolutely.